Hey everybody, so we are going to do a Facebook Live. We have a whole bunch of updates for you. So let's go check it out and see what's going on in the hangar. It's going to be awesome. These guys have been working away. There's some really cool sounds going on right here. So let's go see what's going on. Hello.
Howdy, howdy. We're trying out a new microphone system, so if anybody's out there watching and you can hear me all right, let me know. Just throw something up in the comments. Anyway, hopefully it works and you can hear me. The raffle plane's coming together quickly now. You might notice its extreme height, and that's because it's sitting on the new Behringer gear, which will squat a little flatter once we get the engine and the wings and more weight on it. But yeah, it's surprisingly tall. I just finished wiring the instrument panel up, and once we put the gear under it, I now have to work on all that wiring.
Casey from South Dakota says hi.
Hey Casey, how's it going?
He says you sound good.
Oh, good. Thank you, Casey. Appreciate the sound check. So yeah, I want to show you guys some cool stuff that we've been working on. The panel is actually all installed. You can see all the wire bundles that are all piled up here. That stuff is all going to go through the firewall, and there monitors engine parameters. You can see all the bells and whistles we got up in here. The gold stuff is all Electronics International. There's a manifold pressure sensor, which ultimately takes the pressure from manifold and converts it to digital readout for the instrumentation. And then there's the main, it's called an EDC. It's the computer that runs the CGR 30P and 30C. And then we have the silver box back here is also a manifold pressure unit that converts to digital for the electronic ignition from electro air. You can see what goes into all this. You got the back of all the switches and circuit breaker panel, all that stuff, and everything is very carefully wired in accordance with all the different drawings.
There's not much room back there.
No, it's tight. And of course we have to make sure all this is done properly before we put the boot cowl and the firewall on, because it's going to be a much larger pain in the butt to get up under there than it is from outside here. Over here we've got the computer for the electro air ignition.
What's this thing?
This is a throttle cable, so this will get fed through the firewall at the same time, and that'll run to the carburetor. Right now I'm working on plumbing in all of the pitot and static for air pressure sensors. This is the backside of the G5, which has a 5-hour lithium battery pack, so if you lose your electrical system you still have 5 hours of air data indications. And then the airspeed indicator is from Mid-Continent, along with the altimeter. And those guys plumb into the airspeed takes static and pitot pressure, which pitot is ram air pressure, static is just ambient pressure, and then the altimeter is just static. We can work our way around to the inside here. And you can see the panel, and we only let out a little bit of smoke, but now it's all fine. So we'll flip the master on, and the Avionics master. And you see we've got our Garmin comm. The transponder is en route, but it's all wired, so hopefully that'll all work. You can see the Garmin 796 firing up. It's an awesome touchscreen display. So you'll have moving map, and this will collaborate with the transponder, which has ADS-B, so on your moving map you'll actually see other traffic and their altitude above or below you and direction of flight. And then your CGRs, there's the 30P and then the 30C, and the P is going to give you your primary engine instrumentation. Hopefully the air compressor doesn't pick up too bad, but the 30P is going to give you like your RPM, your manifold pressure, 4-probe exhaust gas temperature, and CHT, cylinder head temperatures. And then your 30C is kind of, in a sense, a secondary instrument. It's going to give you real-time fuel quantity in the tanks. We've actually got sensors from SICE that were installed in the fuel tank, so they're actual real-time. And for the old-fashioned guys that don't trust electronics, we're leaving the sight gauges in, so you'll actually be able to look up your wing routes and see your actual fuel quantity. Of course, you got the G5, which is your flight data information. It's going to have everything from vertical speed, there's a turn and slip ball, altitude, airspeed, ground speed, everything's going to be in there. We tried to design it for usability for the pilot. You got all your circuit breakers all in one area. All your light switches are all in a row, so taxi, landing, nav, beacon, and strobe are all right there. And then we kind of have the engine management and start sequence all in one spot over here. So you're going to flip your master on, and then, well, you prime it, I guess, first, and then you flip your master on, make sure to go rich, and then your mags are on, electronic ignition on one side and a standard mag on the other, and then there's your starter. Prop control for the constant speed propeller, and carb heat and cabin heat.
And so this is the first year we've put in the 30P?
30C.
30C?
Yep. Yeah, we've had the 30P before, but not the 30C. The C is going to give you all kinds of extra stuff like carburetor temperatures, so you know whether you're getting close to icing up, voltage, amperage, outside air temperature. I mean, there's pretty much nothing you can't see or monitor with the combination of those two instruments.
That's pretty awesome. And then there's a little clock over there?
Yep. A Mid-Continent sponsored a digital clock, and it also has USB charging ports on it. And then, of course, we have the paint. We showed you guys some pictures of it, but now you get to see it live. It's kind of hard to see up close, but it's essentially a kind of a shadow pattern. So you got the blue and then the gray shadow, and when you're standing back, you can really see it, especially on the tail. You can see it up there on the vertical and the rudder. Andrew's over here, clean shaven, putting together the tail. So he's putting the horizontal stabilizer on and the elevators. And that all gets bolted together, and then all the cables get attached, and then we'll rig it and make sure it's got all the proper control travels. We did do a light check, and the Wayland beacon works great, and the Aero LED tail nav strobe is flashing bright. And I can actually fire those up for you so you can see how bright they are, but don't look directly at them. So those will be very bright in flight. There's no way people won't see you. So basically the next steps are we're just basically tacking on everything that was already pre-fit and final assembly. So the windows will go in here shortly, along with the doors. The boot cowl and firewall will go on next. That'll probably happen, if not this afternoon, tomorrow. And then the engine will go on, and then we'll wire all that up with all the EGT and CHT probes and all that, and cowl it up, stick the wings on, rig everything, and go fly it. Well, we also got the seats in from Buster's Upholstery, if you want to take a look at those. All custom, burn certified.
This is the back seat.
Yeah, it's kind of a leather and then a fabric. And they're memory foam cushion inside, so nice and comfortable for hours of flight enjoyment.
Oh, and you have the hooker harness.
Yep. Got the hooker harnesses. They're inertial reel harnesses.
Nice.
Along with their lap belts. Got the Behringer master cylinders down there. So yeah, coming together nicely, and we will keep you apprised as the more exciting stuff happens. So, thanks for tuning in. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments. Don't forget to buy your tickets. They're selling out quick. Call the Alaska Airmen's Association.
And then we're having a Q&A sit down.
We are. Yep, and what day is that?
I believe it's the 25th.
Okay, 25th would be like a Facebook Live Q&A. We'll answer any questions you guys have. Just kind of take it slow, and yeah. So tune in for that, and we'll see you next time.